What if I told you that one man could own Italy's largest media empire, serve as prime minister 4 times, live in opulent villas worth hundreds of millions, drive exotic cars, and still be remembered as one of Europe's most controversial leaders? This is the larger-than-life story of Silvio Berlusconi, a billionaire tycoon turned political titan, whose lavish lifestyle, gripping scandals, and ultimate downfall made headlines across the world. He wasn't just a politician, he was a showman, and behind the power suits and press conferences was a man who lived like a king. From Milan's crowded post-war streets to the marble halls of Palazzo Chigi, buckle up, because this is the unforgettable life and fortune of Silvio Berlusconi. At the time of his death in June 2023, Silvio Berlusconi's estimated net worth stood at a staggering $6.8 billion, making him one of the wealthiest political figures in modern European history. His fortune was built primarily through Fininvest, the holding company he founded, which controlled key assets in television, publishing, banking, film production, and even football. He was the founder of Mediaset, Italy's largest private broadcasting network, and owned major stakes in companies like Mondadori Publishing, Mediolanum Bank, and Publitalia, a mammoth advertising firm. The media empire alone generated billions in annual revenues, solidifying Berlusconi as a media mogul before he even stepped into politics. He also enjoyed considerable earnings from real estate, with vast holdings in Rome, Sardinia, Milan, and the French Riviera. And for over 30 years, Berlusconi profited off the brand value of being Il Cavaliere, the knighted tycoon who transformed Italy's media and political landscapes. Born on September 29, 1936 in Milan, Berlusconi grew up in post-war Italy, a country struggling to rebuild. His father, Luigi, worked at a bank, and his mother, Rosa, was a homemaker. Although not born into extreme poverty, Berlusconi's early life was shaped by discipline, ambition, and relentless drive. He attended the University of Milan, graduating in law in 1961 with a thesis on advertising. But it wasn't books that sparked his passion. It was business. During college, he sold vacuum cleaners door to door and performed as a cruise ship entertainer to earn money. After graduating, he jumped into construction and founded Edelnord, building residential complexes on the outskirts of Milan. That small venture would snowball into a real estate and media empire built on charisma, risk, and clever maneuvering. Berlusconi's real breakthrough came in the late 1970s when he founded Mediaset, Italy's first private television network. At a time when the state-run RAI dominated Italian TV, Berlusconi's dynamic and entertainment-driven programming changed the game. Shows like Drive-In and imported American series captured millions of viewers. By the 1980s, he was known as the TV King of Italy. But it wasn't enough. In 1994, after corruption scandals shattered Italy's political class, Berlusconi founded Forza Italia, a center-right political party, and ran for prime minister. With his media empire backing him, his campaign felt more like a presidential television blitz. And it worked. He won in a landslide, becoming prime minister just months after launching his party. He would go on to serve 4 terms, becoming Italy's longest-serving post-war leader. Berlusconi promised pro-business reforms, lower taxes, and strong ties with the U.S., often comparing himself to Ronald Reagan. Despite challenges, he remained incredibly popular with many Italians, charismatic, humorous, and always unapologetically himself. No story about Berlusconi is complete without addressing the torrent of scandals that surrounded him. Over his lifetime, he faced over 30 legal investigations, ranging from tax fraud to bribery, witness tampering, and the infamous Bunga Bunga parties. In 2013, he was convicted of tax fraud and banned from holding public office, a major fall from grace. Yet, despite courtrooms and controversies, Berlusconi's public image among supporters barely wavered. Many saw him as a victim of judicial overreach or an anti-establishment hero. His love life was tabloid gold. From controversial statements about women to relationships with models decades younger, Berlusconi cultivated a playboy politician image, one that both thrilled and appalled Europe. Silvio Berlusconi's real estate portfolio was jaw-dropping. His most iconic property? Villa Certosa, a 173-acre estate on the island of Sardinia, valued at over $300 million. This paradise-like retreat boasted artificial lakes, tropical gardens, an underground cinema, a private amphitheater, and a secret tunnel to the sea. It was where world leaders, celebrities, and models partied in the Mediterranean sun. In Milan, he owned Villa San Martino, a grand 18th-century estate that became his political HQ and primary residence. Filled with classic art, marble interiors, and antique furniture, it reflected Berlusconi's love of grandeur. He also held properties in Rome, France's Côte d'Azur, and Swiss ski towns. Every residence was meticulously designed, opulent, secure, and tailored for both business and pleasure. Though not known as an obsessive car collector, Berlusconi still indulged in luxury automobiles that matched his flamboyant style. His known rides included a custom Audi A8 with bulletproof armor, used for official transport, a Ferrari 575M Maranello, a sleek Grand Tourer delivering 515 horsepower, the Maserati Quattroporte, combining Italian elegance with executive presence, several Mercedes-Benz S-Class sedans, favored for comfort and prestige. Berlusconi preferred comfort and luxury over speed. His cars were often discreetly modified for security, with reinforced windows and private communication systems, befitting a billionaire statesman who had enemies and admirers alike. Away from politics and business, Berlusconi quietly supported several philanthropic initiatives. He donated millions to earthquake relief efforts, including the 2009 L'Aquila earthquake, where he promised homes to thousands of displaced Italians. He also contributed to children's hospitals, Catholic charities, and scholarship funds for underprivileged students. Though critics claimed his donations were politically motivated, his contributions had real impact. In his later years, Berlusconi pledged to fund medical research, particularly in cancer treatment, and supported cultural preservation projects across Italy. While not widely publicized, these efforts added depth to a man often portrayed only through controversy. Berlusconi was married twice. His first marriage to Carla Elvira Dalloglio produced 2 children, Marina and Pier Silvio, both of whom now run parts of his empire. His second wife, Veronica Lario, divorced him after nearly 20 years, citing his consorting with minors. He had 5 children in total, and maintained close ties with his family, often dining with them at Villa San Martino. He was known for his charisma, storytelling, and even singing. Yes, Berlusconi released music albums of Neapolitan love song. In June 2023, Silvio Berlusconi passed away at age 86 after battling leukemia. The news shook Italy. Supporters mourned the passing of a political legend. Critics acknowledged his indelible mark. His funeral, held in Milan's Duomo Cathedral, was attended by world leaders and millions watching from home. Love him or hate him, Berlusconi left behind an empire, a legacy, and an unmistakable imprint on Italian culture and politics. Silvio Berlusconi was more than a politician. He was an empire builder, a media tycoon, a performer, a contradiction. He lived with intensity, governed with charm, and scandalized with impunity. But through it all, he never apologized for being exactly who he was. Now that you've explored the incredible life and fortune of Silvio Berlusconi, we want to hear from you. Was he a genius leader, or a reckless showman, a visionary, or a cautionary tale? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, like if you were surprised by his lavish lifestyle. Subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of the world's most powerful figures. Until next time, stay curious.